Alright, well, I kind of sort of failed to do this earlier, but we'll see where I am now. Hello, sign. How are you? Let's see who you are. Hey Siri, choose a random number between 1 and 12.
A random number between 1 and 12 is 11.
11, Aquarius. I was thinking it was going to be 12. I was thinking like, oh, it's going to be Pisces. I haven't gotten a repeat yet, so that's interesting. The Seven of Swords and the Devil. Just came out. I'm using the vice versa tarot, and it's the back of both cards. It feels like these lights aren't strobey, but if you got epilepsy or something like that, you might want to see. They're not strobey, and I know that like they're not gonna trigger a seizure in anybody, so it'll be fine. But it's like this lamp over here to get the cards to show up. It's like a little dark. That's why I have the light on up there. Anyway, Aquarius, excuse me. This feels like wait, I've done Aquarius. No, that was Libra. What does this feel like, Patrick? It feels like you not choosing. It feels like you staying where you are, or holding the view of the outside world that you hold, almost keeps these things that are trying to cycle out of your life from cycling out of your life. It reminds me of one of those things. It's like if we believe a little bit too hard that we are broken and in constant need of healing, it's almost like we'll manifest things to heal. Even though it's like, we're healed enough as is. We're healed enough to continue on whatever path. And if something more pressing is triggered within us, then we heal it in that moment. And it's like it's about not always looking for something to heal. And it's interesting because my dad is an Aquarius. And lately, it's like there's a lot of old sort of thought patterns that he holds because of his experience growing up. And he's really been in this space, I guess, for the last few months, especially, it seems, of challenging those things in a way that allows him to let them go. And some of the things are very, like, heavy. And they've turned against him. They've turned inward, almost. And again, it's this energy. It's like it feels like he's completed those cycles. And so those things are ready to be let go of. But it feels like it may just be a matter of the letting go. Yeah, see, this is one of those energies where it's like your shadow. It's weird how sometimes we can be sort of separate from it, but it's like your shadow is already looking forward to greener pastures because of what it's seeing and experiencing through the eyes and through the lens of you. Because of the work you're doing, it's in communication with your light. And it feels like they want to come into this period in this space of integration between the two of them to work together in this sort of Midgard, middle world, your reality type of way. But you continue to sort of separate them and prevent that integration for some reason. I'm using the vice versa tarot and the wild. I was gonna say the wild, which is the spirit keeper's tarot. There we go. That's who she is. That's who this is. Bread of life, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Orbs. with the warrior, the sun. Bottom of the deck is the Holy See. The Holy See in this deck especially represents oppressive structures that tell us what we can do, tell us what we can't do, tell us what to think. And in that, it's like maybe they do provide a sort of stability, but they're too rigid for whatever space you're coming into. Now, the cards that came out, it's the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Sun. Like, these cards are gorgeous. But it feels like you're in this space where it's like you need to sort of be this Page of Wands, where you've been so fixed in this Hierophant energy. There are these commitments to things. Also, this reminds me of the head of the dragon, Caput Draconis, which is the North Node. And with the Lovers, your choices and decisions behind it. It's like it's time to free yourself. It feels like you're almost locking yourself in this sort of in between where you can move fully to the other side. Right? It's like one of these trees are on fire, the other tree is like growing. There's a lily on one side and, like, more fire on the other. And it feels like this energy of a shadow. It's like a shadow enlightenment type of energy. Right? Because the point of the star represents spirit. The lone point of the star represents spirit. And in the pentagram, it's like the elements above spirit. But with the candles down here, where that point of spirit is, it feels like the depths of you are trying to lighten. But for some reason you're stuck in this. I think this is about vulnerability. I feel like you've locked yourself in this tower because of things that maybe you couldn't necessarily understand or comprehend about the world, or like why it would be like that for you. And so you listen to maybe you listen to the reasons why the world will tell you you are here, or maybe you come up with reasons to justify why you're here, and you're fixed there. And so once you sort of experience something as truth, you kind of sort of hold on to it as truth without allowing it to evolve. And sometimes, as we get older, as we learn more, as we move through the grades, truths change. It was true for where you were to build out your knowing in the way that it did while you were there. And it's the knowing that you have now because of everything that was true that prepares you to deepen that truth and to take it even further. This is a beautiful reading because it's like even your shadow wants more. And so, like, it's still going to give you some, not some trouble. It's like it's still going to require some reassurance from time to time. You're going to have to be patient with yourself and understanding with yourself as you approach and enter new spaces that you weren't or aren't necessarily comfortable with for whatever reason that is and was valid. But again, it's like, you're coming into a space where even your dark wants to experience light. So let it. Your dark wants to experience light, and your light wants to be free. And it was so weird. Again, it's weird. But last year, it's like I had this moment where my light and my dark were on the same page about moving forward, but I still held hesitation and resistance. And I'm like, well, if I can't attribute this hesitation and resistance to my shadow, then, like, where does it come from? And it's like, well, it's just you. And I don't, again, it's like I don't necessarily know how that works, but it feels like your reality is really fluid right now. Like I'm looking at this pinnacle and I've never noticed these little like ripples that come off of the pinnacle. And it feels like a mirror, but it's like either going into the mirror or it's coming out of the mirror. It feels like space has been made in your life for something, or space is being made in your life for something that this Ten of Cups energy and this Sun are kind of gonna like come in and fill. But with all of these hieroglyphs around it, again, it's like it feels like a space where you have no real knowing or understanding. And I don't know, excuse me, I don't know how comfortable you are navigating spaces that you don't understand, but it's like it's time to go beyond. It's time to go everything. It's time to go beyond everything that you've known and everything that you've experienced. It's time for you to broaden your horizon so that you can also fix to your knowing that not everything is as it has been. And you aren't who other people told you you were, and you may not even be who you told yourself that you were. This is interesting because it feels like in this Lover's card, the arrow is being dipped in poison, but the poison is love. So I think in that as well, it's like you're going to be finding spaces where you are more fully accepted. Even the parts of you that you didn't think would find acceptance. I need one to hit the table. Table ni hitoshimasu. Hit the table. Because those didn't hit the table, those just flipped over. But I knew who they were, so I could take them. I just saw the Two of Cups. What is Aquarius so afraid of? I mean, I feel like it's already here, so. If you want to show me, just no. Something, let's just. I feel like I'm going to get one, so I'm just going to keep doing this until it comes out. If at first you don't succeed, try again, they say. And if something works out in a certain way, or it looks like things are heading a certain way, don't be afraid to really sit in the space of a beginner's mind, right? The moon just turned over to eclipse side. It didn't hit the table, so I'm not taking it. Oh, that hit the table. Oh, Four of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups. But it feels like she's kind of holding this tightly. Not really. It just feels like she's focusing more on what isn't in her cup. To me. And the Queen of Pentacles is right behind her. So both of these nurturing energies. So look, we got. What's up with this? This Four of Pentacles on top of this, it landed right on top of this Nine of Swords. You can see in both of these. We're seeing everybody's back today. But in the Four of Pentacles, the bars have been removed. Oh, I like that. And it's this magical green color. Green being the heart chakra. It feels like there's feathers on here. Also, the Six of Wands is here. The Six of Wands is interesting, though. With the blood on all of these people, These feel like victims. Right? You see, like the blood, like that's being haunted by the people that you know he had to. What's that? All spare and love him more. These feel like regrets. These feel like regrets. These feel like regrets. So maybe on another hand, it's like maybe you feel emotionally tied to or responsible for someone in a way, or it's like you just feel like there are people that you don't want to leave behind. But it's almost this energy of sometimes it's like leading by example. You can't necessarily convince with your words, but it's like your life is sort of your greatest testimony. And it's also to allow them the time that they need where they are. Because I wasn't the type of person that could be forced to do anything before I was ready, personally. And I got a lot of fixed energy in my chart. I was fixed in what I felt. I was fixed in the experience that I wanted. I was fixed in what I believed. Fixed in fear. This might also be an energy that's coming in and is trying to encourage you outside of your comfort zone, which is why this Queen of Cups is like, as sort of, I don't know, she holds like a hesitance or something today. Or it's like she's given this cup and she's given a cup that she's never been given before. And she's like, what do I do with this? Like, I've never met somebody that I didn't have to like hide from. Or I've never had a job where I felt appreciated. Like, what? Like, what do I do with this? And it almost feels like it's a very counter. It's like it's an experience that runs against your narratives, and so it requires a little bit of like mental re-networking because you were a little bit fixed in what you thought and believed. And I know it's like, Aquarius fixed there, it's kind of low hanging fruit, but it's true. As revolutionary and progressive and humanitarian as you can be, as unique and what is that? Almost like ingenious and entrepreneurial as you can be, excuse me, there's something that it's like it keeps you from moving. With this Four of Pentacles, is like we see all of the elements present, but still he just stands at the window. Or he sits at the window. They're all sitting at the window. This is interesting, Aquarius. I mean, at the end of the day, it feels like very, very, very beautiful energy is here. Or you're going to be coming into it. It feels like it's going to be a lot of what you want. And it may kind of, sort of, at some points feel like it's handed to you. Because it feels like this Queen of Cups is receiving this cup. And she's like, what do I do with this? Hello? Excuse me? Like, did you mean to give this to me? Or it's like I just saw a video and he was like, is this water? It's clear. He was like, yeah. It's like, oh, it must still be broken. He was like trying to fix the sink, but I guess he had never had clean water. So he didn't know that it was supposed to be clear type of energy. It's almost like, you get something that is sort of absent of devil energy. And you almost don't know what to do with it because it's not toxic or it's not like it doesn't require something from you. It's not. Excuse me. I wanted to say it's not karmic, but it feels like the only karmic nature of this thing would be it's that it's there to it's there to teach you how to receive or how to be open or how to occupy space fully and authentically without the harsh lessons. Now there may be a time of adjustment, right? But it feels like whatever, I mean, the whole Ten of Cups is here with the Sun and the Ace of Pentacles. This is like a brand new experience that is full of love and lightheartedness and illumination. And it also feels like there's a certain like support that's also here because the Sun and the SKT is the warrior. And so also it's like it's a time to not be afraid to champion whatever causes you feel sort of need a voice. It's a time to not be afraid to put in the work. And if there's an energy where it's like many have fallen on this land that you tread on, and it's like, okay, but like look at you. You're not anybody else, you're you. And maybe like you will succeed where others have failed because it's for you to succeed here. It feels like, honestly, it feels like this devil energy isn't even here. It feels like somebody would show up to this devil energy. That's what it feels like. Like that Page of Wands, I guess. Maybe no. Nah, it's fine. Oh, here it is. Okay, thank you. Because I was like, I remember these both had like blue skies. Well, I guess both of these got blue skies. Anyway, it's this energy of like, so here's this person triumphantly setting out to face the great and terrible dragon, because dragons are a thing, right? But, and like, this is what you expect when you get there. But when you get there, it's like the dragon's actually gone. Again, it's like the devil isn't in this card. You just sort of find this empty throne. And then you have to return almost empty handed in this space. And so maybe in that, maybe you've been feeling that you lack a little bit of purpose, or you've been wondering what your purpose is. And the Queen of Cups would tell me to tell you to go within and to follow with that Page of Wands, like follow what you're passionate about. It's like, is there a cause that you care about? Is there something that you wish to see brought into the world? Well, why don't you be the person who starts that conversation or who starts that process? Aquariuses can also be energies that are very well connected. So you may even be able to use your network to your advantage. And there may be people in your network who would be just as passionate about this. And so maybe some of those connections deepen a little bit. You know what I mean? So overall, it's like my advice would just be to allow yourself to experience something different, to allow yourself to receive something different, because it honestly feels like you're doing all of the work. It's just something about opening up yourself to the opportunity where you might get a little stuck. Because it's like, on one hand, you can work through old beliefs, but to actually be in a space of practicing or operating in that healing, it's almost like, excuse me, almost like it could be a bit of that, it could be a bit of that, I don't know if I'm actually ready. I don't know if I can do this. It's like, you can. You can. You can do it, and I feel like you'd find a lot of happiness and success in it. So that's what I got for you, Aquarius. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this, and I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that you realize that there are some things about you that are like really cool. And I feel like you know that. It may just be like, well, I know that it's really cool. I just don't know anyone else who knows that it's as cool as I know it is. And it's like, okay, Aquarius, girl, well, I guess you'll never find out if you never tell anybody. Right? Like, I feel like I knew somebody, and it was like, I don't know, maybe not. But it's one of those energies where it's like, there's someone that you know for a certain amount of time, and then one day you just discover that they're really into something. And you're like, oh my gosh, you're into that? And they're like, yeah, like I'm obsessed. And you're like, no way, me too. And they're like, what? I didn't know anyone else cared about this thing. And you're like, yeah. And maybe they have a whole network of people, or you have a whole network of people, but it's like, it's this energy of like, you're not alone, but you wouldn't know that if you never sort of open up or put it out there in some way. Almost like the hanky code, but not. Maybe you just like put out little feelers or something. I don't know. All right, Aquarius. All the best. Wherever your magic lies, I hope you find yourself courageously on that path to claim it and to make your life the beautiful, magical paradise that it can be. Oh, I love this. I love this. Because in the front card, it looks like she's tightly bound and there's no way out, right? Look how tight those ropes look on the front. But on the back, you can see how loose they are. And if she just like moved around a little bit, that blade would cut right through the ropes. And the eagle is coming like, okay, it's time for you to free yourself. It's time. It's time, Aquarius. The world is safe now. Well, you know what I mean. Your place is waiting for you. And so if you continue to be on the outside, or if you continue to be on the inside looking out rather than just like going outside, you'll never sort of be able to experience that. I don't know. I feel like this was gorgeous, Aquarius. Judgment is here. But it's the back of the Judgment card. And I just feel like it's this energy. Now we see the front of the Lovers. Oh, yeah, we see the Lovers over here with the Lovers over there. See, it's this energy. It's like the divine knows you and knows what you want. You can't hide anything from them, and they're offering everything to you. Type of energy. With temperance behind that. And it's also this knowledge of like, it is going to be a gradual process. And anyone or anything worth having in your life will sort of know that. And I feel like they'll work with you on that. And I feel like they won't judge you. But it may also require some communication on your part so other people like know what's up. Because, we're not mind readers. Even if we are like empaths and intuitives and psychics, it's not our job to be mind readers. So, well, unless you literally get paid to be a mind reader, then I guess it would be your job. And in this space, I don't know. You could be a mind reader. But we should also sort of express, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, there you go.